Yes, listeners, that's right. We're going down. We're catching up with one of those old-time clans that's come back to the battlefield. We haven't seen these guys around for a long time, but they are back. They're in the Bad Company 2 beta, and it is none other than 6P, otherwise known as Six Pack. We're joined by Binstar and Happy from 6P. G'day, guys. How are you going tonight?
Pretty good, Vyper.
Good, thanks.
Excellent. It's good to see you guys in fine spirits on a Friday night, about to kick the weekend off, so let's get right into it. Now, what has 6P been doing since you guys sort of left BF2? What's been going on?
Well, I think since we left the BF2 ladder, a lot of the guys sort of wandered off into other games like WoW for a while. We waited around for a good game to come out. I think ET Quake Wars got a little bit of interest and then both quickly died. And it wasn't probably until about we started jumping into Team Fortress 2 that some of our guys started to come back, but realistically only a few guys came back, so we sort of played that socially for a season or two and waited for something else to come along.
Alright, you waited for something else to come along, and now you guys are coming back to the battlefield. Has the beta grabbed you to actually bring the whole team back, especially including some of the old guys, all back together to form 6P?
Well, I think a lot of the guys have been looking for something a bit like Battlefield that's actually quite good. With that, not many people are interested in 2142. But so a lot of the old guys have sort of come out of the woodworks a bit just to try out this beta. Whether or not they like it or not, or they go wait till the retail, we'll see. But some of the old guys who played from 1942 and BFV, but didn't even play in our Battlefield 2 clan, they're sort of hanging around. So at the moment, a lot of the guys coming back. We'll probably may even get some more. So we've got a fairly decent squad, but we'll see how we go from here, depending on how good the game turns out to be.
All right, well, I'll throw this one to Happy. What's the feeling among the guys in the clan about liking or disliking the beta so far for Bad Company 2? Are they happy with it, or are they sort of still a bit umming and ahhing over it?
I think we're generally happy about the beta. It seems like it's a good game, not like a certain BFV release, but it's we're just waiting for the conquest mode, see how that pans out, because at the moment rush on one map is a bit hit and miss, I suppose, sometimes.
Yeah, it can be very hit and miss, especially if you're on the defending side. It does take a good coordination to pull that off. Now, coming up, what are you guys actually aiming to do in the beta tournament? You're actually in that beta cup on CyberGamer. What's the aim for that? And then what would be the aim if the guys do decide to go ahead and compete in the Bad Company 2 when it does actually come out in the full release?
Well, I think our main aim at the moment is just to basically see if we like the game. So that's our main aim. So we're getting a lot of people back, getting into a bit of a comp, getting a bit back into the sort of the way that the Battlefield plays, since a lot of the guys haven't played for a long time, so we're all a bit rusty. But the main thing is just seeing if we'll keep looking to see when the retail comes out. Quite a few of us have pre-ordered, but not all of us, so that's our main aim. As for how we plan to go in the comp, it probably depends on how these rules go. We're just assuming we'll get knocked out when we're playing defense against a decent team, so whether or not that may be AG in the semis, or maybe even Envy, the COD team in our bracket. So whether or not, we heard the rules may change, that we play offense and defense. If that's the case, then I would tip that we'll either try and have a tight one with AG in the semi, or maybe even one of the top teams in the final. I think it's Sequential Gaming or TSW in our bracket.
Sequential Gaming are no longer in it, from what I understand. They might have been knocked out. I might be mistaken, but we will carry on. I think I've actually buggered that up, but anyway, we'll keep going. What teams are you guys looking forward to playing against coming up in Bad Company? There's a lot of old school teams coming back in. Are you guys looking for any particular rivalries?
Well, I mean, if it's going to be any of the old school rivalries, we're basically looking for the teams like LT or AVA. I haven't seen any signs of LT. I don't know if they'll come back, but I do notice that AVA has signed up to the beta list, but only with one player, so they may be one of our old rivalries. But apart from that, probably looking to test out some of these newer Battlefield clans that are starting to dominate the scene, like your X5 or your AK, and seeing how we go against them when we get our old school guys back.
Now, Happy, any of the guys that we should watch out for from Six Pack, any of the matches coming up, anybody that we should watch out for in future?
You should always watch out for Binstar in the tank. That's a given.
I was actually going to raise that.
Other than that, I suppose we've got a solid inf team. I'm not giving away too much of our strategy, but I suppose HK, he's a very good inf. Has always been a very good inf. And I suppose Malice is always good for a laugh, so we'll see how he goes.
Always nice to have that little lol factor in your team. And I was actually going to raise this off the cuff to Binstar, mate. Have you been testing out the old tank in the beta, and what do you think of it?
I have been using the tank a bit. I've got to get used to the slow-moving turret, which you can't adjust individually in this game. But the tank shell looks pretty good. It's got a fair bit of splash on it. I'm sort of missing the alt fire, MG fire, like in the old Battlefield 2, but it's similar to 2142. But I think the tanks will do quite well. Wait to see how these other rocket launcher unlocks will go. The tracer dart's a bit annoying as it is, but depending on what the balances will be like, might be fairly even, I think, in the tank.
Excellent. Well, guys, thanks very much for joining us on the Inside Battlefield show. We really do appreciate having you in here, and I'll throw it back over to you, RD, to carry on our merry way.